If you want cheap Microsoft points and game codes, check out g2a.com. Link is in the description below. Hey guys, it's Melvin7 here, and today I'm bringing you episode 26 of my BPL predictions versus the Mr. AC. So the scores currently are 65 to me and 90 to the Mr. AC, so I pulled 1 point back last time. And yeah, hopefully I can keep plucking away at these results, and yeah, let's get straight into this. So the first game, we've got Aston Villa versus Stoke. Now this one's an interesting one. Usually I would probably go with Stoke, but Aston Villa recently they've been mismatched, let's say, and now they've got Tim Sherwood as their manager. There's a lot more chance than I would have given them prior to this, basically. So, you know what? I'm going to say Villa are going to win this. I'm going to say 1-0 to Villa. It's going to be a very close game. I think because Bojan's injury, that's going to affect Stoke a bit. So yeah, next game we got Chelsea up against Burnley. Now Burnley got beat 3-1 by us. It was a shit performance by us, and Burnley should have scored more, but they didn't. They didn't take their chances, and we went on to win the game, which we ultimately deserved at the end of it. But in the first half, they should have probably had us dead and buried. On it, Chelsea won 1-0 against Everton. You know, it's just a typical Chelsea performance, really. They cleared up what they needed to, basically. They just did what they needed to, sat back and got the 3 points. So, you know, typical Chelsea. They're at Stamford Bridge. I don't really give Burnley much of a hope. I reckon it's going to be 3-0 Chelsea. In the next game, we've got Palace up against Arsenal. Now, this is a very interesting game, alright? Alan Pardew has been very good for Crystal Palace, and they've looked a lot more attacking, and Arsenal picking up a lot of decent results here and there. So, you know, they're going to be looking to extend that. Ozil's starting to show form as well. So this one's an interesting one. It is at Palace's home, so Selhurst Park I think it's called actually, but I know it wasn't Palace's home. That's whatever. Anyway, yeah, it's at Selhurst Park, so it's going to be an interesting game. I reckon it's going to be 2-1 Arsenal. All right, I really hope it's not a draw. Well, I do. But then that means I'm not going to be right, because I was going to say 1-1, but no, I'm going to say 2-1 Arsenal. In the next game, we've got Hull up against QPR. Now, QPR, as soon as they sacked Harry Redknapp, they got their first away win of, well, the first point away. And they're away again against Hull, who did win 2-0 against Villa, seem to be finding a little bit of form now. So you never know, might spur them on to win. It's going to be an interesting game in my opinion. I reckon QPR will get another point. I reckon it's going to be a 1-1 draw. In the next game, we got Sunderland up against West Brom. Now, Sunderland lost 2-0 against QPR. As I said, they were the first team to lose points at home against QPR. So, a bit disappointing for them. West Brom, on the other hand, won 2-0 against Swansea. Fairly comprehensive result. I believe that one, oh no. And then they've also beat West Ham 4-0 in the FA Cup, and that was a wonderful performance. Berahino and Adaye with some great goals. So, for me, West Brom are going to have far too much for Sunderland in this game. Even though Sunderland do have Defoe now, I'm going to say 2-1 West Brom. In the next game, we got Swansea up against Manchester United. Now, as I say, Manchester United, as performances have been so lacklustre recently, but we've got the points. We are undefeated. Sorry, we've been defeated once in 18 or 19 games, and we've only conceded 1 in the last 20 games. Swansea, on the other hand, ups and downs. They lost 2-0 to West Brom. They are at home, and they did beat us on the opening day at Old Trafford. But I think we're going to grind out another performance, in my opinion, alright? Hopefully, Van Gaal starts to use wingers, you know, in a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-4-2. I did the lineup I want to see on the Full-Time Devils YouTube channel, and it's had a fair few likes. I'm not going to go through because that'll take so long, but anyway, it basically consists of players like Herrera in there, Mata. You know, you've got traditional, well, not traditional players, but players that the fans have been calling for. So, yeah, anyway, I reckon we're going to win 2-0 probably. Swansea will pose a bit of a threat, but I think we'll do enough to close the game out. I'm going to say 2-0. In the next game, we got City up against Newcastle. Now, my brother's actually going to the Etihad to watch this. He's a Newcastle fan, and I think Remy Cabella's injured. And since it's at the Etihad, unfortunately for Newcastle, I don't really give them much hope. As much as I want them to win or draw against Manchester City for obvious reasons, I don't think it's going to happen, and I'm going to say it's going to be 3-1 Manchester City. Hope I'm wrong on that. Next game, we got Spurs up against West Ham. This is a very interesting game. Both sides have realistic aims for Europe and potentially Champions League. Spurs definitely have a viable option for Champions League, whereas West Ham have a slight hope. So for West Ham to have any hope, they're going to have to beat Spurs, who are in form at the minute. I know they lost 3-2 to Liverpool, but all in all, that deserved to be a draw. It's at Anfield, not the worst thing to lose, even though Liverpool are contesting with Spurs as well. But, you know, they can bounce back. Harry Kane's in stunning form. Eriksen's been fantastic. So's Lloris. Even though West Ham have been good, they lost 4-0 to West Brom. That's not going to do their confidence any good. So, you know what? I'm going to say this is going to be 3-1 Spurs. In the next game, we've got Everton up against Leicester. Now, Everton seem to have hit a vein in form. Now, I don't want to jinx it, but, you know, it's nice to see, to be honest, because they are a decent team. I like Roberto Martinez as a manager, but he was one-dimensional, basically. He was too attacking. Didn't know how to get the balance. Yes, there was a lot of injuries, not going to lie, but he always had a solid defence. And now it seemed when injuries plagued and everything, the performances dropped and they couldn't find that attacking flair. But few decent results recently, so for me, Leicester have done the same. But for me, I think Everton are going to win, and I'm going to say 2-0 Everton. In the next game, we've got, well, the last game of the week. It's Southampton against Liverpool. Now, this one is crucial for the top 4 race. If Southampton win, they're really, really pushing for that top 4, and they're favourites if they win this, in my opinion, along with Manchester United, as long as we beat Swansea, or Arsenal, if you know what I mean. Basically, there's so many teams contested for it. If Liverpool win, then they have general hope of actually finishing in the top half. So you know exactly, sorry, top 4. You know exactly what I want to happen. What I think will happen, though, I think they're evenly matched teams in them, and I'm not going to lie. Liverpool just won against Besiktas thanks to an 85th minute Mario Balotelli that sparked some controversy, I think, within the Liverpool squad. But anyway, you know, that's 28 out of 29, is it, for Mario Balotelli in terms of penalties. Southampton, on the other hand, they drew 0-0 with West Ham in the league, and wasn't a great game to watch, but they deserve to win, in my opinion. So for me, this has draw written all over it, and a high scoring draw at that, right? I'm going to be pissed if it's 2-2, because I'm going to take a gamble and say 3-3. So let's compare my results with the Mystery Seas. Alright guys, so looking at the results side by side, there's a fair few differences. Whereas I think Villa's going to win, he thinks Stoke is. We both predict the same Chelsea result, well, the same result, not the same score. Palace versus Arsenal, I reckon Arsenal are going to win. He thinks it's going to be a draw. Hull QPR, I think it's going to be a draw. He thinks QPR are going to win. Sunderland, he believes that it will be a draw, whereas I say West Brom will win that one. We both say Man United will win 2-0 Swansea, so I hope that one is right. Man City, Newcastle, we both think Man City will score 3, but I think Newcastle will get a goal back, whereas he thinks it'll be 3-0. Tottenham West Ham, the exact same result. We both think Tottenham will win quite comfortably, 3-1. Everton Leicester, same result again, 2-0 Everton, fairly comfortable for Everton. And Southampton, I reckon, will draw 3-3, whereas he says Southampton will win 3-2. So yeah, let me know what your predictions are in the comments below, and if you have enjoyed, please hit that like button, subscribe for more daily FIFA 15 content, even though I know this is BPL content, but you know, anyway, hopefully you have enjoyed, and peace.